So New World has taken a new strategy. They said, what if we just re-release the game again? What if we just re-release the game again? So they're going back to beta.
We're going back in time to the first Thanksgiving to get turkeys off the menu. That's right. We're going back in time to the first Thanksgiving to get turkeys off the menu.
Who are you talking to?
For those of you who haven't heard, New World is going to have an open beta that runs for 3 days, starting on Friday the 3rd.
How do you have a beta for a game that's been out for 3 years? What in the hell is going on with the gaming industry? Why are all MMO developers terrible at making MMOs nowadays? How in the hell did the developers in like 2006 to like 2015 get it right? And then after that, with all the technological advancements, we keep sliding downhill. I don't understand it.
13th of September and ending on Monday the 16th of this same month. Now this is a pretty bizarre piece of information because I'm sure the majority of you who click through to this video will remember that New World fully released on
literally 3 years ago.
September 28th, 2021. Almost 3 years ago from this upcoming open beta date. The explanation or justification from Amazon on how New World can have both a closed and open beta 3 years after its release is that this is a beta for New World Eternum. And as Amazon put it themselves,
oh, we have this all the time. Oh, guys, Black Desert has this all the time. We release our open beta in Korea at least a month before the rest of the world gets it. Is this your first time with this kind of...
On the New World website, New World Eternum is an action RPG that's going to be released on October 15th for PC.
Yeah, so they wanted to sponsor me not too long ago, and this is how they describe their game. And I literally stopped, and there's like an email correspondence of me going, I think you forgot the letters MMO there. And they're like, no, we didn't. And I'm like, okay. Holy shit.
Xbox and PS5. So in this video, I'm going to endeavor to explain exactly what the heck New World Eternum is, why it's having an open beta, and hopefully clear up some of the confusing messaging from Amazon Games. But first, a quick word from this video's sponsor.
It can't be an MMO with that amount of active players. He's kind of right though, you know what I'm saying?
As we mentioned in the intro of this video, there's a good amount
the
of
hoodie looks really quite high quality too,
confusion on what exactly New World Eternum is. Some articles out there claim that it is an action RPG reboot of the game, or a re-release of the MMO we played back in 2021. Even the official marketing at Summer Games Fest would have you believe that New World Eternum is a completely separate game from what it is now.
Yep, that's exactly how they marketed it for me too.
That's right. New World Eternum will launch on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC on October 15th. And now you can play the game start to finish as a solo player or play co-op and use crossplay as well.
Now,
damn. Guys, this is Black Desert in like 2 years. You guys know it, I know it, and we all know it, bro. This where we going, bro.
Technically,
we're playing Crimson Desert for sure when it comes out. There's no question about that.
Some of what is being said is true. You can play New World Eternum solo, but you can also play the current version of the game solo as well. Since early 2022, it's been possible to play through the entire main storyline without needing to jump into a group. The quests in the story, where you would need to complete an expedition, basically New World's equivalent of a group dungeon, those have been given a solo alternative. And other parts of the story, where you would need to group up and take down a boss, have been replaced with these soul trials. They're basically a solo boss encounter. So
yeah, so it's basically just going autopilot mode. They realize they can't compete in the MMO space, so they're just throwing. This sounds like them throwing in the towel. I'll be honest.
If the game in its current state can already be played solo or co-op, what else is new in New World Eternum? Well, Amazon have stated that they're also adding a new 10-player raid with 3 different bosses.
There's no way that the solo player RPG is going to release a 10-player raid before BDO does. There's just no way that that's actually happening to me.
A PvP zone or lawless area, repeatable endgame solo boss fights. These are basically those soul trials that we just talked about, but scaled up to max level. There's also going to be a gear score increase to 725.
What losers? Only 725 gear score. They're still putting on their pants one leg at a time.
And they're finally adding swimming into the game. Now, if you're thinking,
you can't swim in New World right now? It took you 3 years to put swimming into your game. What are we talking about, right?
Baggins,
What?
This just sounds like an update to New World, as opposed to a brand new game. Well, my friend, you would be right. New World Eternum, in its simplest form, is just another update for New World. If you own a copy...
This is going to sound really weird. It actually makes the game more appealing to me. The like co-op RPG experience appeals more to me than most MMOs do. I'm just going to keep it a buck, bro.
Of New World on Steam, you'll be able to download the update on the 15th
I used to never play MMOs before I played Black Desert. I hated MMOs before I played BDO. Now I like MMOs because I tried BDO.
of October and play New World Eternum. The existing servers aren't going to be wiped clean, so you can continue to play on your old character if you want, but Amazon is also going to be adding new fresh start servers for those of you who want to level up from scratch and not be behind.
That is coming to BDO. That's what they're going to call it. It's not going to be called BDO Classic. It's just going to be called Fresh Start servers. With like all the old systems, but like all the new quality of life stuff.
And everyone else on the server. These servers are transfer locked.
BDO has that now? No, they don't. They have seasonal. It's completely different.
Meaning older legacy characters cannot transfer into them. So all progress that's made on the server is equal. Nobody starts with any extra gold, resources, control of the map, etc. So this begs the question, why are Amazon doing this? Why such a weird messaging around New World Eternum? Why not basically describe it as an expansion or another update? Well, I think the simplest answer to this question is marketing. The biggest thing...
Okay, that was really subtle. Did you guys see that shit?
Expansion or another update? Well, I think the simplest answer to this question...
That is a good content creator right there, bro. That shit is so crisp.
is marketing. The biggest thing about New World Eternum from Amazon's perspective is it'll be available for purchase on Xbox and PS5. Right now, they're selling pre-orders at $60 or the deluxe edition, which includes a few extra skins and stuff.
Oh, so they're just... Wait, do you have to buy... So wait, if you already own New World... Do you have to buy Eternum too? You don't. So like, but if you go buy New World now, this is what it costs. Okay. Got it. Free update. By update, we mean downgate. We went from MMO to fuck it, it's a co-op RPG.
For $80. There will be some data that Amazon is looking at that suggests action RPGs is a more saleable genre for a game on console than MMORPG.
It absolutely is, but I would say it's more sellable worldwide. Not everybody wants the MMO experience. That's like a much more specific type of audience. MMO players will play a co-op RPG, right? MMO players are a much smaller subset of this player base, right? These are like players who will play an RPG, right? And these are the MMO players. All right. So like by just removing the fact that it's an MMO, they feel like they're just going to appeal to the more wider fan base. It's like really obvious to me.
So they're leaning into this with the marketing, telling
You can still buy the original New World for half price. Well, I mean, this is just like the Destiny way, right? But like,
players that you can play it solo or co-op. And by adding Eternum to the end of the game title, it also presents New World as a different game from the one you may have heard of. That
part of the reason I like covering this on my channel, guys, is this is the direction that Black Desert is headed in. That's what you all don't understand. Like, when BDO peters out because they just refuse to get rid of J, or they refuse to listen to their player base, this is what's going to happen. They're going to sell it as a co-op RPG. They're just, it's really easy for them. Just remove the MMO open world aspect of it, or just the MMO aspect, and make it a co-op RPG. Boom, done. Right? They're already kind of doing that, right, chat, with Crimson Desert. But like, Crimson Desert's a new game that hopefully we will only have to buy once. I need this. I'm hoping that Crimson Desert costs $60 and that's it. Okay, let's be honest. We're buying the we're buying the collector's edition. $120, and that is all I'm gonna spend on that. Unless it costs $180, in which case that is all I will spend on that. Also, all the skins.
came out in 2021, a game that was riddled with bugs, lacked content.
It's now a single player game that has not been confirmed. It's been confirmed. And I need this so that I can live, okay? It is going to be co-op. There's going to be aspects of the game that are co-op.
And most players sadly quit within the first few months of its release. So that's where the majority of people are who kept following this game into 2023 and 2024. Their viewpoint, which is reflected in the Steam reviews, posts on their tweets,
I have people begging me to play like Guild Wars 2 and Final Fantasy and Lost Ark. No one ever comes into my chat and goes, you need to play New World.
comments on their YouTube videos is that New World Eternum is effectively a money grab. Amazon
Console
are planning
players, it's a trap. Are we sure we're not talking about BDO
to
console?
drop the game on console and then sunset the game shortly afterwards, basically taking devs' resources off the game with the plan to shut it down in the next year or so. Now, in my opinion, I've never thought of New World as a scam or as a way for Amazon to make a quick buck. The game was a mess,
I don't see it that way either.
In some ways still is, that's for sure. But I've more than got my money's worth in terms of hours spent in this game and the memories that I've made playing it. And this is something that's reflected across the internet. Most people will agree that their initial playtime, the first time they played New World, was the most fun they've had in gaming in many years.
Probably some of the most fun I've had gaming during its peak. I really wish things were handled differently so that it wasn't in the condition it's in now.
New World.
Let's be honest. Every MMO is like this. That's why we're all really excited for Throne and Liberty. That shit's going to be super fun. That shit's going to be crazy.
Literally broke me.
And then they're going to completely destroy it, and we are going to move on.
The amount I was playing that game and the amount I will still continue playing that shit game.
That did not age well. I don't think the Shroud is logged into New World in probably 2 years.
Kidding. I love New World, but there's so many bugs and exploits.
For all of the people that are huge fans of New World, I am among you. Nobody plays 500 hours of a game that they hate.
The Black Desert Steam report page or Steam review page would beg to differ. We have people with tens of thousands of hours in there that give it a thumbs down. Not recommended. Only 500. Guys, 500 hours is a lot of time. Okay? It is. I understand that seems like rookie hours for veteran players. But for players that are just like trying the game out, right? Especially for someone like Asmon, give me a break. Do you know how long Asmon played BDO for in 2023? Like 8 minutes. Give me a break. He played New World for 500 hours? That shit must have hit. You know what I'm saying? Also, Tim the Tap Man played New World? Holy shit.
And I mean, even looking at the Steam reviews, you can see that most of the...
See this? Why are all Steam reviews... This is why everybody hates the MMO community. Because only the MMO community can play for 1,200 hours and be like, yeah, I don't recommend this shit at all. It was right around the 1800 hour mark that I was like, "Fuck this game, I'm never playing again." And then I uninstalled it. And then I reinstalled it to get the login rewards. But then after 1200 hours, no more.
Not recommended posts are from people who have hundreds or even thousands of hours in
There it is.
the game. The biggest problem with New World, and again, this is my opinion, is that it launched way before it was ready. And as a result, it had an unbelievable amount of bugs, exploits, and an extreme shortage of actual content. However, if the game was to launch back in 2021 with the version of New World we have now, or even the version that will be New World Eternum, I genuinely believe that opinions and sentiment towards the game would be better.
While that may be true, I think that New World's launch actually went really well. Did it have bugs and stuff? Was it obnoxious? Yeah, but like I think that it overall was a kind of a success. I don't think it launching in an unfinished state was necessarily what killed the game. I think that it launching in an unfinished state, leading into the developers not piloting the game correctly, is what killed the game. Like when the nobody's like most players are not going to stop playing your video game because they experienced a bug if they enjoy the gameplay of your game. All right, they're just going to report the bug and they're going to expect you to fix it in a timely manner. And if you don't, then they leave. Okay? If you don't listen to your players' feedback, at a certain point, players just let go.
Some small improvements like being able to open your inventory on the move, save gear loadouts and equip them, and search through your storage.
Yeah, like, he's not wrong. It definitely did not have enough content to keep it moving at the start. Like, they needed to release content more quickly. That is true.
Sheds by perks and stats, to huge updates like new zones, new weapons, new item types, cross-server group finder, mounts, server layering, and a much better and more cohesive questing experience. New World has improved a lot from its release to present day. So I guess the good news for console players is they'll hopefully get the release of New World that we should have had. And from a PC player's
And
perspective,
to be clear, I think that Aeternum will probably be more successful than the current state of New World. I think it'll probably be more successful as a co-op RPG. I think it's a W move from Amazon. I know that's a hot take, but like, New World is a failure of an MMO. It might be reasonably successful as an RPG. It's not going to be crazy successful, but it will be more successful than it currently is, in my opinion, especially on console.
the Fresh Start servers will have crossplay enabled, and New World Eternum will effectively be a free update for us. So if Amazon Games hasn't completely broken your heart and burned all the bridges that you have with them, you can jump in again and see if the game is more deserving of your time in 2024. Though, if you do want to get a mount or use the new flail weapon, or go from level 60 to 65 and enter into the Elysian Wild Zone, as a PC player, you will still need to purchase the Rise of the Angry Earth expansion.
Okay, so in order, bro, this is just like Destiny. All right, so if I buy Aeternum, I can only play Aeternum. I can't go back and play Polly's Forest. I mean, Rise of the Angry Earth. There it is. This is another problem with the business model that does not encourage new players like myself to get involved with New World, right? Because, like, I can't access all the content for under $100. Like, holy shit. Like, how much money do I gotta spend?
Expansion. But as I mentioned at the start of the video, you can try out New World Eternum on PS5, Xbox, or PC. It'll of course be for free, and that starts on the 13th of September, and there are...
Oh. Should I try it? Wait.
allowing
Wait, did this just become a New World Aeternum co-op RPG stream?
pre-download on the 11th of September. Now, during this open beta, they are going to be capping us to level 30, and it's only going to be running for 3 days. I think part of this is just a marketing scheme again to give the console gamers a little hit, just a little taste of New World, get them hooked, and hopefully get some pre-orders.
I would say that the open world exploration, the entry level, the first 30 levels of New World is probably the most fun that you're going to have.
But there is...
It might be best in genre. The first 30 levels of most MMOs suck, okay? The reason you stay with it is because the world seems really vast and expansive, and you're living on the promise that, like, when you do go to, like, explore it all, that it will be more fun.
There's going to be a skin you can earn for your account if
The problem with New World is it doesn't get any better. You go through the first like 20 or 30 levels, and then you're like, oh man, shit, this game's gonna hit. And then you get to level 60, and you're like, at some point, they're gonna turn on the button. Man, this shit's gotta be good.
You hit level 25 during the 3 days the open beta runs, if that's something you care about. To wrap up this video, we all know that New World has had a very turbulent history. I think there's still a lot to be said about Amazon's QA process, even to this day. As recently as our Season 5 update, there was like huge glaring bugs that made it into the game. So whether history isn't just going to repeat itself with New World
That's a crazy.
Platinum, I mean, time will only tell, but it would seem it's unlikely, unfortunately. However, I do genuinely believe
Those are not like, those are bugs, sure, and everything, but I'd be willing to bet that like the BDO developers are tougher to reach than Amazon is.
from a new player's perspective, especially from the console player's perspective, New World is like a really fun game. The first 100, 200, maybe hopefully at this point, like even 500 hours you put in the game is going to be really fun. But ultimately, is this going to save New World? It would seem likely not, but nonetheless, I am going to be playing the Fresh Start servers, and I am actually looking forward to it. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about this whole New World Eternum shenanigans.
I gotta give him credit, bro. I feel like he's like me. Like the game's headed downhill, and he's like, I don't want to let go. I love the game. You know what I mean? Like,
is it something you guys are going to try out? Have Amazon basically burned all the bridges and any trust that you have in them? I'd be interested to hear what you guys have to say in the comments down below. Now, if you've made it this far into the video, you either have somewhat of an interest in New World still, you found the content I've made here interesting, or you're just Asmongold reacting to this video on your...
no, I'm not Asmongold, so I'm fine. I'm not caught. I'm not caught. I'm not caught. Asmon is caught. I'm not caught. It's not me. Not me. It's him. Okay? It's Asmon is the big bad meanie. Go look at him. Okay? I'm not caught.
Stream. In any of these scenarios, make sure you click or tap that subscribe button. You can get...
Absolutely, guys. I gotta give him credit. This is the captain not going down, right? Or not leaving the ship until that shit is sunk. I give him credit, bro. He deserves it. Asmongold at home. I take those. You know, you haven't made it in content creation until everyone starts comparing you to some other content creator that's bigger than you. And that is when you know you've made it. Okay, because see, then when they're done streaming, they just come over to you because you're the great value. You know what I mean? Great value. It's in the name.